Hello, everyone. Nice to see all of you again. And I would like to welcome all of you and thank you all very much for attending this online teaching again today. Make sure to remember the three supreme methods. Setting your motivation, maintaining concentration, and dedicating at the end, three supreme methods. So before we start the teaching, as usual, it's important to correct our motivation. So take a moment to generate bodhicitta. Think about all living beings and send your love and generate some positive thoughts, good wishes, happiness for all beings. That is a good place to begin. Even though you all know all of this, but I just want to remind you of that. Sometimes people forget. So this is the most important part of our teaching in the retreat, set of your motivation. So now the third Bardo, right? Third Bardo. Yesterday we talked about very briefly, two Bardos, the natural Bardo of this life, illusory Bardo of dreaming. So today is the third Bardo, which is practice Bardo of meditation. And the root text of Karma Langba says, Jima. Now, when the Bardo of Samadhi appears to me, abandon all forms of distraction and delusion and rest in the nature of non-wandering and non-fixation, free from extremes, gaining stability in the two stages, generation and perfection. At this time of single-pointed meditation, having given up activity, I must not fall under the sway of afflictions and delusion. Okay? That is the third Bardo, Jima Dagla Samten Bardo Chardin. Namyan Tribu Zonam Bangshini, Yamin Zemin Tapter Nganglanjo, Jedzok Nila Tamba Tobresha. Shava Poni Cherchi Gomdin, the new mon Tribu one, the Matan She. Okay. By the way, as you know, the dream Bardo of illusory Bardo of dreaming and this Bardo, meditation Bardo, are part of the Bardo of this life, the nature Bardo of this life. We already discussed yesterday, but these two Bardos, the Bardo of this life naturally includes both dreams and the practice of meditation, right? somehow karma lang ba taught 6 Bardos, but basically there are 4 Bardos. That's very important to understand. Life, death, after death, and rebirth. 4 Bardos. And then the first Bardo divide into 2 Bardos. That's why I said the natural Bardo of this life is the most important Bardo, because it includes dream Bardo, and for practitioners, very important meditation Bardo. So, dream Bardo is very important because we spend like half day at night, so it's during the day we practice like 2 hours, 1 hour, right? And then busy with the worldly life, and then go to sleep. We just nothing. So there we waste lots of time at night. So that's why make sure your dream, your sleep, nighttime, make sure you have some kind of positive and practice, so that you will. That's why I always say, like, if before you fall asleep, you think about bodhicitta and generate bodhicitta, and then you sleep all the way until next morning. Your sleep, the period of time, completely will be positive, because of you generate bodhicitta before you fall on sleep. So that's why the nighttime, like whatever you sleep, like 7 hour, 9 hour, whatever, 12 hour, whatever, will be very, very spiritual because of bodhicitta. If you don't have anything to practice when you go to sleep, then you kind of waste all these times, right? So that's why the dream Bardo is so important. You should do something, some kind of make sure that. For me is the practice, illusory body and dream yoga and all of that. No, but I try to generate bodhicitta. Then if I can sleep, then my all time, like 9 hours, 7 hour, whatever, will be bodhicitta, so then I don't waste my big portion of time in our life, right? Otherwise, most, like, as ordinary people go to sleep, you have nothing, just you become completely like your all senses are dissolved into Allah, and then you become kind of like unconscious. And then sometimes you have these weird dreams, nightmares, whatever. You have all these things, and then you just waste time. That's why. And then the meditation Bardo will help you both, during the day, your daily life. Meditation Bardo helps your all your activity kind of like engage with positive. And then meditation Bardo also helps during the sleep. So that's why the natural Bardo includes both of this, but that's why natural Bardo is very, very important, the most important Bardo. So now, this is called the practice Bardo, meditation, right? Meditation. Now you think, how does this meditation, the inner meditation of inner samadhi, or meditation, samadhi is Sanskrit, right? Related to the Bardo. Why is it called a Bardo meditation, right? It is between when you start your meditation until you finished. Remember, Bardo means in between. Par means in between. Do means the connection between. The do means actually kind of like the past and the future. There is a connection there, like continuation. That's what do means. So, so it begins whenever you are resting your mind in the present. You meditate, right? Resting in the nature of whatever, non-wandering, and then it ends whenever you are distracted from that state or you stop. That's why they call meditation bardo. Therefore, the length of time you spend in this bardo is a period of meditative stability, of concentration. Okay? So the moment in between this constant movement of the mind we call the bardo, right? But the great meditators, when they rest directly in the nature mind without any kind of distractions, then there is no bardo. There's no bardo. Or you can say the meditative state in which you rest directly in the nature mind is the genuine or ultimate bardo. Okay, that means it beyond confusion and beyond liberation. So basically, it beyond samsara and beyond nirvana. That's why it's genuine sort of bardo, pure bardo. There is like two different kind of like relative bardo, which is unpure, and then ultimate bardo, which is pure bardo, this nature mind. There is no distraction. For the great meditators, enlightened beings, they don't have the bardo. But for us, there is a practice bardo of meditation. It is between we start our meditation until we finished. No matter how long, how short our meditation may be, if there is in between state, then it's called bardo. Now I'm going to explain to all of you what meditation is. Since we're talking about the bardo of meditation or bardo of samadhi. Samadhi is the highest state of mental concentration, samadhi. So meditation, that is meditation, right? Samadhi or meditation is not only just relaxing the body and the mind. Meditation is not just playing with words of the teachings. Meditation is not just, say prayers, or meditation is not just an intellectual understanding. You may think meditation is spiritual virtues, secret, all of that, but none of those are meditation, basically. Meditation is, as I say this many, many times, meditation is a great discipline. And that discipline comes when you observe your thinking, or observe your actions. That is meditation. That is real meditation, observation. That is absolutely necessary in your daily life. You know, that discipline. That discipline is observe your thinking, observe your actions. That is absolutely necessary in your daily life. That is the real meditation. Without that recognition or observation, we really don't know what is happening. So the best kind of meditation is when the mind has awareness and mindfulness, especially in understanding of the mind itself. Okay? Why? The energy of mind is the essence of life, right? And being aware of that is meditation. Therefore, meditation is the great discipline. That is how the great masters achieved their enlightenment. So meditation is not just saying some prayers and mantras and right? Then when you are done with meditation, then you separate that meditation from your daily life. Your daily life is then opposite of meditation. That's why you can't meditate while you are in your office work, with your family, with your friends, whatever. We separate our meditation from our daily life, which means we don't have this discipline, right? So that is not meditation at all. And Tibetan, we have this kind of habit that people just go to the temples and sit there and say some prayers and mantras and do some prestations, stay there for a few minutes and then go home. Then you just kind of forget. You're just done. You think like, okay, I did meditation. And then you have nothing. You completely separate. Then you don't have that kind of discipline. Then you don't know what is happening. So that's not meditation. Supposedly, meditation cannot be separate from our daily life. Okay, keep that in mind. Meditation is not like someone who has this kind of like magic, things in read somebody's mind and knows what will happen in the future. That's not meditation at all. Meditation is just you observe what is going on in your mind as well as your actions. Then you have a great meditation, which is great discipline. So meditation is a part of part of our daily life. Meditation is a total understanding of life, daily life. So if you don't have that discipline, you don't know what, you don't understand your daily life. So we must be aware of every action that we do in our daily life. If you really want to become a good meditator, that's all. Don't expect to like become an enlightenment or have this kind of capacity, to, do things like what Sangpo did, like magical things. Like, don't think all of that. Just make sure that aware of every action that you do in your daily life. That's perfect meditation. So when you go to, for example, the office, when you are talking with people, whatever you do, you are aware of your reactions and aware of all the movements of thoughts. Just being aware of this whole momentum of thinking without trying to control them. That's meditation. Through that kind of meditation, you will find the actual truth. That truth is something that is alive in your daily life. The truth, we are try to find the truth. The truth, that is, the truth that everything is impermanent. Every second, every minute, life is constantly and inevitably changing. Be aware of that is great meditation, but we don't recognize it. We let our minds believe this body is always going to be same body until we die. When you think about impermanence of life, you think it brings very uncomfortableness and fear. So it is ignorance that is that makes not us not understand this truth. It is distractions that makes us forget this truth, like moment by moment changing. Therefore, we must be aware of everything. That's meditation. Out of ignorance, the most powerful afflictions are created, right? Such as attachment, aversion, and jealousy, and so on and so forth. Then this gives us all kinds of negative emotions. So meditation is training ourselves and the different steps that lead to the realization of reality. So the practice of meditation is a process of training this discipline. But it's hard, right? It doesn't mean that immediately we have success. When you meditate, that doesn't mean you have this great discipline. That doesn't mean you have a stable meditation. without any obstacles. Dullness, destructiveness, obstacles. With these obstacles, it is not possible to develop genuine meditation. Therefore, meditators constantly need to deal with these obstacles. The dullness obstacle is when the mind is sort of gathered too much inside, you start to feel sleepy during your meditation, which is when your five senses become kind of numb, and that makes your meditation unclear and unfocused. Your mind will sink into unclear concentration, which is dullness, and it brings in unclear mind so that you can't focus on your meditation. Your mind become very sort of unclear and foggy and like that. That's another the obstacle. And the other obstacle is destructiveness. When your mind is gathered too much outside, the mind has many thoughts, right? You are distracted by them. Then you start to lose your concentration and your focus, and then your mind becomes unbalanced. So when you can't get rid of these obstacles and find clarity in your mind, then you can't develop genuine meditation. So meditation doesn't mean that you sit somewhere and you really visualize something and try to focus on visualizations, and then you feel really difficult because your meditation is not stable because of these two obstacles. Then you feel really difficult. But if you have, and you know, like you have clear understanding what meditation is, then meditation is not that difficult. Just not forget whenever, just to be mindful during the daily activities or during the meditation, just to be mindful with everything. Then that mindfulness brings you really great enjoyment. Then you develop that kind of meditation, then you don't feel meditation is difficult. Otherwise, you just sit in front of your shrine, and then you have not good balance, like tight, very tight, and then you have all these obstacles, and then you just kind of struggle, deal with that kind of situation, and then afterwards you feel really difficult. Meditation is not easy. it is boring and all of that, then you will lose enthusiasm. But try to observe your thoughts, your actions. That is discipline, that is meditation, that is necessary, no matter who you are, Buddhist, not Buddhist. Then you feel like, oh, this is great. I know what I'm doing. So then you will not harm others because you are mindful. So you know what you're doing. So then meditation is kind of like you really enjoy with that kind of action. Because then you know more and more and more yourself. Then meditation is very important. Then you feel, oh, the meditation is the most important thing to do in our life, right? If we have actions without seeing the truth, then we cannot act properly. When there is a separation between meditation and daily life, then we will not be able to remember important meditations, such as renunciation, bodhicitta, nature of mind. We're going to forget this precious time. But through meditation, we protect ourselves from distractions, negative emotions, etc. So think deeply about life, this very moment we have, which is in between past and the future. This is the most important moment that we have. So we cannot forget this. Bardo means remember again, in between. What between? Between past and future. This moment, that is our life. So Tibetans, we have this kind of like habit that people hear the word Bardo, then people think immediately like, oh, word Bardo is very negative, because most people think, oh, Bardo means like death, and after death, all this kind of suffering, the experience of Bardo, and then people think, oh, this is bad word, but it's not. Bardo is actually our life in between, past and future, no matter where you are, what you're doing. So the life is in the between, which is present moment. But if you don't have that great discipline, you don't recognize this present moment, then you have very bad Bardo experience. So we cannot forget this moment, because what we do and how we handle this moment is all that matters, right? So meditation basically is a journey of self-discovery, self-discipline. They're the same. Self-discovery, self-discipline, that is meditation. Once you understand your life completely, then your meditation becomes inseparable from daily life. And then meditation becomes the most important part of daily life. You love it. Then you have this great self-discipline. And that self-discipline is combined with the great wisdom, because you know completely your life. With that, self-discipline combined with the wisdom, then you behave more compassion and selflessness towards others, yourself. That is the real benefit of meditation. So now the root text says, rest in the nature of non-wandering and non-fixation, free from extremes. This is the essence of the practice Bardos Samadhi. So the Bardo of meditation teaching is connected to the insight that directly realizes the true nature of the ordinary mind. The key point of this meditation is full relaxation and awareness. Okay? Non-rest and nature of non-wandering. And non-fixation, free from extremes. Okay? You need awareness. Now, what is this awareness? It is simply a state of mind that is not distracted from the present moment. As this awareness develops, you are able to feel more relaxed with everything. When you rest directly in the nature of mind during your meditation and the samadhi, in that moment, your mind becomes completely non-conceptual, and it is not wandering. That's Karma Lamba is talking about here, like rest in the nature of non-wandering. When you have full recognition of non-fixation, free from extremes, that is awareness, and that is meditation, and that is the experience of genuine Bardo of meditation, the highest state of concentration, genuine Bardo of Samadhi. According to the Bardo instructions, in terms of any emotions and thoughts that arise in your meditation, it is important not to become distracted by anything outside of it. So when you bring the mind to rest in its own state and its own nature, and without any distraction, then you are in a state of awareness of present moment. So when your body, speech, and mind are synchronizing together, and they are in harmony during your meditation, then there is a sense of being fully present at that moment. That experience tells you that you are not distracted by any kind of thoughts. Your mind, your body, your speech, all are together, not separate, working together harmoniously. And when you don't have a single thought in your mind starts to calm down. Then you start to feel your meditation. Your body and mind will be blissful until an obstacle arises. No single thought. Then you feel bliss, this experience, amazing experience. You even don't feel that you have a body. Everything is perfect, balanced, very calm, peaceful. So it's important to understand that the bardo of meditation is where you train your mind to deal with the challenges and opportunities of the this experience of all 6 bardo states. So the benefit of this practice goes really far beyond trying to have a good meditation session or trying to become a calm person. So the main point of the bardo of samadhi is to receive instructions in a proper way, and having received the oral instructions fully, you can then practice on your own. And in order to receive the nature mind instruction, the traditional way is first you have to finish the preliminary practice, because through the preliminary practice you can develop, remember I always say, renunciation, bodhicitta. Then you are ready to practice the nature mind. Basically, the best is the practice, all these 6 bardos, basically practice nature mind. That's the best. But in order to practice nature mind, you need some kind of bodhicitta, renunciation. So now, the Bardo root texts say also gaining stability in the 2 stages. I will tell you this a little bit. Development and completion. That's 2 stages. Jerim and Zorim in Tibetan. Utpadi Karamana, and then Sampanna Karamana in Sanskrit, I think. So these 2 techniques, when you practice Jerim, the development stage, it is basically dealing with the relative truth of all phenomena. Okay? That means you're working with the appearance of relative truth, like the deities, mantras, prayers, and so forth. It's using the relative truth as the path. The point is, you are trying to recognize yourself as a deity. Because fundamentally, you have the Buddha nature, therefore, you are not an ordinary being. So when you will remember your Buddha nature through practicing Sherab, because you forgot who you are. And you're also trying to remember the whole universe is pure and emptiness and the mandala of deities. As that realization of emptiness arises in your mind, then you will be able to generate compassion towards all sentient beings who have not realized this nature of emptiness. So through the Sherab practice, you are purifying impure perceptions, basically. So you are not trying to fabricate something that is not there. So you're just trying to see what is within your nature. So you're just trying to uncover the potential you have within. So when you practice Sherab, there are three things that are important. First, clear visualization. Second, understanding their meaning. For example, if you visualize a deity, very clear visualization, understand the meaning of the deity. Then third, having confidence and pure sort of pride that you are the deity. Pure pride is when you meditate thinking that ego is the deity. Okay, that is what we call it means like pure pride. But if you think that you are visualizing yourself as something you are not, that is not pure pride. We're going to talk about this 100 deities, all of this next time. But the deities, this Sherab practice, helps you to recognize your Buddha nature, which is deity, which is the real deity. And you have to believe that you are the deity. You have to think that you are visualizing yourself as something you are. Then you will develop confidence. For example, if you visualize yourself as a Tara, and then basically you don't believe yourself as a Tara, then it's wrong. You are Tara because of Buddha nature. Buddha nature is the real deity, then you will develop confidence. Therefore, it's important when you practice a deity and its mantra, you need to recognize your Buddha nature, then you can feel you are deity. And that mantra and deity are inseparable. So basically, Cherem is the preparation for the Zoram, the completion stage. Okay? The Zoram completion stage is basically dealing with the ultimate truth of phenomena, the nature mind. So whatever you see, whatever you hear, or whatever you touch, and whatever you think, everything is a projection of your mind. That means there is nothing more than a reflection of your mind. Just like the moon reflecting on the water. So the moon is there, but it's not there, right? The moon is there beautifully, but it's also not there when you go a little bit deeper. So everything is a manifestation of your nature mind. Basically, that is Zoram. So when you meditate on the non-dual nature of emptiness and compassion in the form of deity, it is the unification of development and completion stage. So basically, when you practice these two stages, you are trying to recognize the nature mind and the nature of all phenomena. Okay? That is a brief explanation of these two stages. So as I said, no matter which of the six pardos you practice, the main point is you're trying to recognize nature mind. At least you're trying to reduce clinging to samsara. That is key point. All of these six pardos. So you try to reduce your ego, trying to reduce your attachment, trying to understand all of this perception. It's like reflecting the moon on the water. It's amazing. You see beautifully the moon arising, on the water, but then it's not there. So all these Bardo experiences like that, they're there, you experience, but they're not really there. It's your perception. So that's the point. Try to recognize nature mind. From the Vajrayana, the Dzogchen point of view, when you recognize nature mind, enlightenment comes to you. That is possible in this very lifetime. That is why the root text says that you must not fall under the afflictions and delusion, but you must practice single-pointed meditation without worldly life activities. So I think right now, for us, it is important to focus on the Bardo of this life, Bardo of meditate, samadhi, and Bardo of, Bardo of dreaming, Bardo of meditation, remember, includes the Bardo of this life. So for us, it's very important to focus on the Bardo of this life and Bardo of dying. among the 6 Bardos, okay? Because the Bardo of this life is right now, and Bardo of dying is coming. So we need to prepare for it. Especially Bardo of dying is very difficult if you are not ready. Are you ready? You are ready to die, huh? Good for you. I'm not ready. Okay. I have seen so many times people are suffering when they are going to, going through the process of dying. Very painful. So we have to understand, because sooner or later it will happen to us. As a Buddhist practitioner, we have to remember death, impermanence, and the suffering of samsara, all these negativities. We have to remember, unfortunately. But the nature of samsaric delusion is pure, though, if we understand how to discover it. Then we will recognize that the nature of illusion is pure. If we don't recognize the nature of samsara and we hold on to what is pure as impure and clinging to the impure as real and believe reality as it appears, that clinging to reality is a delusion. So that is exactly what we are believing about this samsara. So it's like if you discover gold that looks black because it's covered with a stain. But if you recognize it as gold, and if you know how to remove the stain, then it will be very valuable. But if you don't know, don't recognize it's a piece of gold, then you are not going to use it. So you're going to waste this precious opportunity if you don't recognize. So that's same thing for us, this Buddha nature within us all the time, but we waste this precious opportunity. We don't recognize it. That's why all these Bardo teachings basically try to recognize the Buddha nature. So it is important to remind yourself how fortunate you are. You have this precious human life with the Buddha nature. That's why precious, I mean. Not only that, you meet these teachings of Buddhism and have a great opportunity to practice Dharma. If you practice Dharma, sooner or later, it is inevitable that the qualities of the Dharma will develop in your mind and you will become a great practitioner, which means you have great discipline. Therefore, the time we have now is precious. So we must use this opportunity while our body and our mind are still together. They support each other. If you are diligent in your practice, this Bardo is meaningful. And eventually, you can go beyond this Bardo and this practice gives you the best ability to concentrate your mind and helps you to find the best connection within yourself. And eventually you will see that everything will become one gentle kindness. teachers say that as a sign of hearing many teachings, one should be able to remain peaceful and gentle. As a sign of having done a lot of practice, one should be able to reduce klesha, afflictions. Klesha means affliction, negative afflictions. Okay? That's the sign. If you are peaceful and gentle, like as bodhisattvas, that means you hear in lots of teachings and you concentrate on that. That's a good sign. If you can reduce your afflictions, negative emotions, you have done that science, you have done a lot of practice. That's meditation. Meditation is working with your constant busyness of thoughts and emotions. Okay? That is the practice, Bardo, of samadhi. Now, before we take a break, meditate for 5 minutes, okay? Okay, as we talked about the practice Bardo of samadhi, meditate on concentration, okay? Meditate on concentration, focus on the mind continuously without forgetting it, which is awareness. That's Karmalamba says, never forget awareness. So how do we do that without forgetting concentration, awareness, without forgetting awareness, focus on the mind continuously? So try to empty your mind completely, which means there is no a single thought in your mind. So there is no thoughts whatsoever in your mind. And bring your awareness. I mean, that is awareness. When you recognize that I have no single thought in my mind, that is awareness. So focus on that continuously. Usually we have a lot of different thoughts in our mind about our past actions, about, our memories, about the future dreams, etc., etc. So we may have this kind of image in our mind, but when we try to meditate on awareness, what we need to do is basically we have to make our mind completely empty. It means there is no single thought that exists in our mind. So try to let dissolve all these thoughts and then focus on self-awareness. In this way, your meditation can help you to discover the total inner awareness and peace. And that is the best way to develop discipline of your mind. Because that discipline is combined with your awareness. Then what will happen is you are not caught up by your thoughts endlessly. So distraction can be anything, but we're always thinking about something without mindfulness, resting in the present. When your mind is distracted, then you can sort of reestablish your mindfulness. Your mindfulness is the most important aspect of meditation. There is no need at all to struggle against your distractions, but the important thing is not to control what is happening, but to be mindful of what is happening. Whatever arises in your mind, it's just an opportunity to discover Buddha nature. The Buddha nature is this empty mind combined with great awareness. So focusing and letting yourself feel the nature of your own mind, bring your awareness and try to rest in the present moment. That is meditation. Okay? So breathe in, breathe out very gently. You don't have to focus on your breath, but just very gently relax. At the same time, recognize if you have distractions, but not making big deal out of it or not making any judgment of that. Just aware of it and be mindful. So this is how you practice Bardo of Samadhi, Bardo of meditation. Okay? 5 minutes.